Hey guys, Rob from the Off-Grid Tiny House, just after 9:15, September the 9th, 2021. Just got here at the tiny house. A lot of work going to be going on today. And my mom offered to come over and help paint today. Though, I told you guys that wasn't really the plan because I'm staying over here tomorrow night. So, little updates, guys. I've basically got a bunch more work, which is good. Help pay for everything. My lithium batteries arrived. 2 of them. Sweet! So, I need your guys' opinion and help for a second. So, when I go to revamp the solar wall, because we have possible leaky issues here, to some degree, it's not major. Should I put the box in one of these corners to gain more space? And what do I mean by that? The battery box. So if I put the battery box over in the corner, move my solar wall over to this corner, that will free up basically this area here where I can move stuff that away. And you know what I mean, to gain more space at the same time, because all this stuff under here is going to be going. I have to revamp everything. I also have to revamp the height of this 2x4. So if I just cut this 2x4 off here and here, I think that will work, or raise it up, which will be probably more difficult, in my opinion. I think I'm gonna just cut it, put the box in this corner, and then just move my wires around to make the connections. Now, it's gonna be a little tricky because these connections are only so long to the batteries, right? So I may have to make extensions, and the inverter is what I can do possibly is swap the inverter length cables for these battery cables, and just swap and move these to the inverter, because the inverter will be, it's basically sitting on top of the sandbags. That'll be the lid of the battery box. That's how that'll be. So yeah, we'll see how that works. But anyways, lots gonna happen today. I want to finish this wall today. So what I got going on is I'm gonna go next door. My dad has a heavy gauge BX cable that I'm gonna use to feed the entertainment setup part 2. So the entertainment setup part 2 is this thing here. So it's gonna run 6 items plus all these USB sockets and such, right? So I need a heavy gauge cable in order to bring in a decent enough power to satisfy all these loads on all at the same time. So that means my LED lighting, ceiling fans. I'm gonna revamp this ceiling fan to wire it into that particular switch, and then to stop the annoying blue light situation that occurs when you put these on, I'll just put a black electrical tape on, a couple layers, to stop the little LED built-in lights on those switches. Because at nighttime, I don't need to be glaring at blue light in the face. It's just an annoying thing to me. I just wanted plain Jane switches, but whatever. Electrical tape should fix the problem. So I already have the wall cut to the proper height. I just have to, I brought a hole saw bit over. I'm going to punch into the side of the opposite side of this cabinet, run all the wires through this size hole. This is a 1.5 inch size hole. Should be plenty for all the wires I got to run. Basically, I got to run a jumbo main feed in. I got to run my my entertainment wire. I got to undo it, rerun it in there. I probably will run the TV cable line in as well. And then I'm going to have either 6 lines running out or a couple jumbo lines that I can just attach off to and run from there. Because the LED lights, I could basically run off of one line without any issues. And run it all on one switch if I wanted to as well. But I mostly want it for lighting and ceiling fans, and basically that would be it. And then the rest of the stuff will be dealt with down there on either side. So yeah, this place is a mess. I gotta get to work. I'm gonna jump next door, look for that roll of BX, because I need to have that in place to know my length and to start punching a hole in this entertainment cabinet before I can throw the insulation in. Punch a hole in the insulation to run all the wires, and then punch a hole in the wall in order to, you know, get once this cabinet is, I'm gonna basically be unhooking, pulling this cabinet out, punching a hole through this wall in the insulation, run all the lines through that back into this guy. That goes back in, then put the trim up that I made, and then painting's gonna commence, okay? So there's a whole lot going on, and it's gonna get funky in here. So I don't know how much I'll be able to film today, but I'll do my best. So I gotta get moving. I'll go next door, grab the cable, come back. See you then. Hey guys, that was easy. So I grabbed, this is the roll of BX that my dad says I can use over here. Now it is super heavy gauge, and this is also known as armor cable, and it's got a metal sheath around it. But this is, get this line, this is some pretty heavy gauge copper, and this is why I want to use it. So it's gonna, I'm gonna run a section from the cabinet all the way back to the solar wall. Back here you guys can't see anything because of the poor lighting. So I'm gonna run this bad boy from the entertainment cabinet up and over to the back solar wall, and I'm gonna run a little extra on either end because I need to have that little play, because this guy is still gonna be redeveloped and revamped into something totally new. So this guy I'm just gonna snake quickly down and around here and go from there. So I'm gonna get to it. See you guys on there.
Makes it easy to attract, screen, and interview candidates, all in the same place. Find your next great hire and visit Indeed.com/credit.
Traffic First, sponsored by Liberty Title, protecting property since 1974. For over 45 years, Michigan-based Liberty Title has been helping buyers and sellers keep their real estate transactions safe and secure. You get to choose your title company. Don't fall for a split closing that adds to your closing costs. You have a choice. Choose LibertyTitle.com. 75 northbound at Sashabaw. 2 lanes are closed for construction. Intermittent double lane closures scheduled until 2 p.m. this afternoon. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Window World. Call Window World at 1-800-NEXT-WINDOW. For your window or door project and get 0% financing for 60 months. Window World is America's largest exterior replacement remodeler and a trusted team partner. WJR's inside-outside guys. Call 1-800-NEXT-WINDOW or visit WindowWorldDetroit.com.
Mix of clouds and sunshine today, breezy and a little cooler. Northwest winds 10 to 20 miles per hour, high 72. Fair Department cloudy skies tonight, low 50s. Mix of clouds and sunshine Friday, 77. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ken Boone on News Talk 760 WJR.
Come back for Guy Gordon at 3 and Mitch Albom at 5 on 760 WJR. Here's WJR's Kevin Dietz.
Well, I'm fired up for some football. The NFL gets started tonight with Tom Brady and the Bucs taking on the Dallas Cowboys. And this weekend, the Lions get started at home against the San Francisco 49ers. Join us to talk some football is our own Sean Pelisian. Good morning, Sean.
Good morning, Kevin. Pleasure to do it with you.
Oh, I'm glad you're here. I'm fired up about tonight. I'm kind of a Tom Brady fan. I have been for a while, and that means I've seen a lot of victories over the years following Tom Brady. What do you see? What do you see tonight for those guys? And what do you see for Tom Brady this year? Is there any chance that he'll find himself in another Super Bowl?
Oh, absolutely, there's a chance. I think the NFC's wide open. I mean, let's start there. I think they definitely have a shot to get back there. A lot of people touting the Packers and, this year of discontentment from Aaron Rodgers. And much to the chagrin of a lot of Lion fans, a lot of people talking up Matthew Stafford and the Rams as well. So the NFC is wide open. I don't know how any living, breathing organism could ever bet against Tom Brady. I just don't. And, there's word that the guy wants to keep playing and playing and playing until he can't go anymore. He has been phenomenal to watch. Whether you like him, whether you like the teams he's played for, it's inconsequential. You have to give a big tip of the cap to Tom Brady.
Yeah, at some point it's going to happen. We all know that, but it's hard to bet against him because he keeps proving that he is a winner and he keeps winning. And he surrounds himself with a lot of really good people, and he's in a good system down there in Tampa as well.
Father Time's unbeaten. That's a quote that you hear all the time in sports. But Father Time's on the ropes against this guy. I mean, let's face it, for him to play this long at this high level, it really is something that's astounding. I don't think enough is said about that. I mean, in all of the conversations about his greatness and GOAT and everything, for him to continue at this level, at this age, it is mind-boggling, Kevin.
Yeah, it is amazing. I'm really looking forward to watching that game tonight. I think they're going to win tonight, and I think they're going to have a really good year. The Lions have a tough start on the schedule there. San Francisco, Green Bay, Baltimore, home, away, and home. What's it look like with San Francisco? Are the Lions ready for this year? This looks like it's going to be. I went down the whole schedule, and I'm not seeing a bunch of wins. I don't want to be a pessimist, but it doesn't look pretty.
And you know what, Kevin? I mean, just for me, I'm okay with that because for the first time in a long time, the Lions aren't looking at themselves in the mirror and saying, hey, where they are, and they understand Brad Holmes has done a good job of kind of playing the long game and accumulating some of those draft picks. And, hopefully in a couple of years, I know people around here are tired of hearing the R word. It just seems like all our teams have been in a rebuild. I really do think that that's the long-term play for the Lions. I'll echo your sentiment. Boy, I think the first half of that schedule is just brutal for this team. Some people have said that maybe they don't get their first win until that home game on Halloween against the Eagles. We'll wait and see how that plays out. San Francisco's kind of a screwy team. A couple of years ago, they were one of the best teams in the league, Kevin, and last year they fell flat on their face and they only had 6 wins. So, will the real 49ers please stand up? I still think they have enough to get by in this week 1, but emotions are going to be high. I think the Lions all know what people are saying, not only about Jared Goff, but about the team as a whole. And I know it's cliche, but I'm intrigued to see how this might play out before Field on Sunday.
I hope Brad Holmes realizes the long game goes all the way back to 1956. It's a really long game. I hope he's got a short, long range in his sights. I'm sure he does. I'm sure that is the game plan. How is the coach doing? Are the players responding to him? Do they like him? Last time we had the coach, there was just a lot of things coming out of camp. that people weren't very happy. Are things different this time around?
It sure seems that way. Everybody's saying the right things. Everybody, is really talking about the culture. I mean, that's been a buzzword around this team. They had to change the culture. They wanted to bring that New England Patriot mentality. Was it McVay? Was it Jared Goff? We're going to find out. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't have a lot of weapons. He's ready to take a massive step up. I do think that they upgraded a quarterback. I think that Matthew Stafford is a better quarterback than Jared Goff, and a lot of people feel like perhaps that's the last piece of the puzzle for the Rams. That's a very difficult division to play in. There's some good teams in that division, so that might have a say in it. And, again, I'm not going to discount Tampa. I'm not going to discount Green Bay. I think Green Bay, quite frankly, is going to win the NFC, just one man's opinion, but the Rams are in that group. Kevin, if I had to say, hey, I'll give you the field, just give me three teams. I'd take Tampa, the Rams, and obviously Green Bay, and I feel pretty good about it.
Wow, yeah, so I know a lot of people who are getting the NFL ticket or whatever it is. He's aging too. That would be to get to watch the Rams every week, maybe versus the Lions.
No, that's exactly it. To me, that's the fun thing, about, having my Sundays back. For years, Kevin, I either did a radio show or a television show on Sundays, and it kind of, took up all my Sunday. I'm looking forward to watching games again to see what the Rams are all about. I really like the Bills. I think Josh Allen is just an exciting quarterback, and I love to watch him play. So it's going to be fun. I mean, my Sundays are open for the first time since 1995 on a personal level, so I'm pretty happy about it.
You can watch them live instead of on tape or the highlights.
You got it. That's the beauty of it, though. I mean, Kevin, like you said, I mean, it's back down the hatch. It's all your food, prepare and watch football.
So you like the Packers? The Packers in the final game of the season. You said the conference was tight. Could they be a big spoiler and just ruin it for Green Bay fans at home in Ford Field on the final Sunday?
That's a great question. I mean, in a perfect world, if you're a Packer fan, you have everything wrapped up, and maybe you even have, that first round bye wrapped up as well. They don't want to have something to play for in there, but
days and 2 nights. Also on the web at carsforkids.com.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Week one of the NFL is finally here. I got the bread shopped. I got the snacks on ready. And look, now all I got to do is, when I'm ready to make my bet, log on to FanDuel Sportsbook and play your risk-free bet. Week one of the NFL season. That's right. FanDuel giving everyone, all customers, a risk-free bet. And there are a whole bunch of options you can choose from. You can certainly bet money lines. You can bet over-unders. You can certainly bet game totals, catches from players. I mean, it's all there. And this is why I personally love betting on FanDuel Sportsbook. Been playing baseball a lot this year. Now you get your first chance to get in on the action with football. And this is why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. And it's hands down. Everything is so easy to use. It's accessible, and when you win, you get your fast payout. So, use FanDuel Sportsbook at any Week 1 game in the NFL. That's money line again. Take the over, little action on a profit, or build that same game parlay. There's a lot of ways to play, and certainly a lot of ways to win. If you're new to FanDuel Sportsbook, sign up today using my promo code. That's regular, RENWICK, to receive that risk-free bet up to $1,000 as well. Again, that's promo code regular.
21 and older and present in Michigan. First online real money wager only. Refund issued is non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Maximum refund $10. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problems? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help.
Get COVID vaccines, part of a push by the president to enact vaccine rules.
President Biden will outline a 6-step strategy for combating the Delta variant during an address from the state dining room later today.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland.
White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki says the plan will include access to testing, mandates, and keeping kids safe in school.
There will be new components that sure will, of course, impact people across the country, but we're also all working together to get the virus under control, to return to our normal lives.
The Biden administration is also working to put together an international summit on pandemic response.
And dozens of foreigners, including Americans, have left Kabul, Afghanistan on an international commercial flight. The first large-scale evacuation since U.S. forces ended their efforts there. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather first from the WinBet Traffic and Weather Center. Download the WinBet app today on the Apple Store or Google Play. Win with WinBet.
This report is sponsored by MGM Grand Detroit's Big Draw Promotion. Win up to $1 million during MGM Grand Detroit's Big Draw Promotion. Tuesdays and Fridays in September, you can win up to $1 million by matching up to 6 numbers during the Big Draw live drawings. See the M Life Rewards desk for details. Must be 21 and older. Grand times ahead.
Accident reported in Washington along the
Force. 62% of them are now requiring that proof of vaccination. Some employers are even offering financial incentives or instituting surcharges to boost their organization's vaccination rates even farther. Here's an example. Starting in November, Delta Airlines will increase premiums for unvaccinated employees by $200. Experts say Delta won't complete the process as open enrollment usually occurs in the fall, and that's a logical time for these types of increases to be introduced. So the bottom line, is it legal? Experts say employers are legally permitted to mandate mask wearing to protect the safety of workers and patrons in the workplace, and likewise, employers are able to require that employees be vaccinated, Kevin.
Yeah, obviously we're getting that test. We're seeing that right now with Henryport Health Systems. Employees there have filed a suit in Detroit Federal Court to challenge the 14th Amendment in that case. There's other lawsuits around the country that have challenged religious issues. Another one has challenged on natural immunity. People saying that they've had COVID already, and therefore they have natural immunity, and they should not have to follow mandates for vaccinations that employers are requiring. But for the most part, the cases that have come up so far,
I think
the
that's good enough.
mandates have stood. They were on good legal ground, and that's what most experts are saying will likely be the case in most of these challenges that are coming forward. So this is something, people are going to have to be aware of and likely deal with. The number, you said 52% of companies are likely to have vaccine mandates moving forward. That's a really, really high number.
It is a high number, and that was, you know, well, we'll see. They said by the end of the year, so this is according to research that they've done, that that will be the amount of companies, so that's better, obviously better than half of employers could implement. Now that could be implement one or more workplace vaccine mandates, so there may be different ones. Some companies, they say, are still trying the carrot and stick approach. In other words, if you get a vaccine, you'll get a couple days off or whatever the case may be. So some companies are still doing that, but some have just simply drawn a line, as our company has done, Kevin, that you are to have a vaccine in order to return to the workplace.
And people may want to jump on those incentives while they're there before they go away, and you're just told them, look, if you want a job, you're going to have to get vaccinated. All of this, it's interesting as you break it down and look at the numbers individually, but really all of this is kind of saying the same thing, that the health officials believe the best way to prevent the spread of the Delta variant is through vaccination. We want people vaccinated, and we've done everything we can think of to get people to get vaccinated. Now we're going to force that issue where we can, and one of the easiest or most important places to do that is where you work, because people have to work, they have to pay the bills.
Yeah, and absolutely. And as you mentioned earlier, the Henry Ford mandate that all their employees be vaccinated. They have 33,000 employees here in the metro area. And Henry Ford, the deadline, by the way, is tomorrow for employees there. Despite this particular federal law, which has been fine. But that's one thing. The company reported that 50% of employees so that's a pretty good all our effort, of course, to educate the workforce. People have to be available to talk about so that they understood questions about the vaccine. That answer.
I was surprised of the 8% that are unvaccinated. I believe a majority of those, or a lot of them anyway, are nurses, and that's there's a big nursing shortage, and it's employees in order to also interesting that those lines like that are some of the ones that are most hesitant to get vaccinated. I'm interested about President Biden. He's going to speak today about his plan, which primarily is going to be finding ways to get people vaccinated again. I know that their administration has been meeting with business leaders around the country, the big three and others, trying to come up with ways to get as many employees and as many people in the country vaccinated as possible. It'll be interesting to see how much, if at all, he leans on the private sector to help push the vaccination rates up.
Well, there is reporting this late morning that the president will impose vaccinated in Michigan was something like 62.1%, something like that, that are vaccinated now in Michigan. So,
20s, up over 50% that require it, then that number's going to jump quickly. All right, Marie Osborne, thank you so much for this information. I appreciate it.
Our pleasure, Kevin. Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a little break here. We'll be back with much more. You're listening to WJR, where Detroit comes to talk.
Jordan Thomas and the Wang Thomas Ewald for Women Who Lead on WJR. A spotlight show on women who are leading the way in business, civics, and humanity. Women Who Lead, brought to you in part by Michigan Medicine, part of University of Michigan Health. Introducing thegreatvoice.com, a new podcast website for News Talk 760 WJR, with all your favorite WJR content delivered directly to your desktop or mobile device, plus podcasts you can only find on thegreatvoice.com. The great outdoors. Get back to a place where nature lives up to its name. Explore 10,000 acres of unmatched wildlife at our Shiawassee National Wildlife Refuge. Experience exhilarating hikes by traversing the winding forest canopy walk of Dow Gardens. Relax on a sun-filled boat cruise across the Saginaw Bay. Your outdoor adventure begins right here in Pure Michigan's Great Lakes Bay region. Call 800-444-9979 or visit GoGreat.com to start planning your next trip. Don't just watch the game, be a part of the action with WinBet. We've got your ticket to every straight bet, parlay, teaser, and props wager, all right at your fingertips. The WinBet app is easy to use, so play with the most trusted brand in the industry. Download the app for free on Google Play or the Apple Store today. It's time to get off the sidelines and put yourself in the game. Win with WinBet. Must be 21 or older and present in the state where WinBet is available to bet. Gambling problems? Call 1-800-270-7117.
Have you been diagnosed with atopic dermatitis, commonly known as eczema? Millions of Americans are diagnosed each year, and researchers are constantly developing new treatments. At our Dermatology Research Clinic in Ann Arbor, we're enrolling children and adults in paid research studies. We're also looking for patients with prurigo nodularis, psoriasis, pediatric psoriasis, chronic hives, and other skin conditions. If eligible, you could earn up to $1,500 for participating, and the treatment will be available to you at no cost and without involving insurance. To find out more, go to skintrialsmi.com. You'll be paid for each visit, and you can schedule convenient appointments with our dermatologists that fit your schedule. Just go to skintrialsmi.com. If you've been diagnosed with eczema or other skin conditions, you could be eligible for no-cost treatment in our clinical trial and receive your first payment as early as next week. That's skintrialsmi.com. Skintrialsmi.com.
Wow. Join us for a round of golf during Beaumont's Women's Healthcare Classic. Women are invited to golf the Dearborn Country Club course, while men and women can spend the afternoon at TPC, Michigan. All meals, cocktails, gifts, and awards are included in the event with proceeds benefiting women's health services at Beaumont Hospitals, Dearborn, Taylor, Trenton, and Wayne. Get your foursome together and sign up today. Hosted by Karen Wilson Smith-Bauer and Doctors Harrison, Burkhill, Wang, Sanji, and Associates. Visit beaumont.org/WHCC for information, registration, and sponsorships. WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Discover matches all the cash back you earn on your credit card at the end of your first year. It's amazing because Discover is accepted at 99% of places in the U.S. that take credit cards. Learn more at discover.com/yes. 2021 Nielsen Report limitations apply.
Traffic First also sponsored by Chris Furniture. Chris Furniture thanks you, the hard-working people of our community, this Labor Day. Make an appointment to see all their great American-made furniture and their special sale on Saloon Furniture going on September 4th through the 12th. Chris Furniture open by appointment only. Call 734-427-3080. Accident blocking your left two lanes now along US 23 southbound south of North Territorial, a 13-minute delay from 6 Mile. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by North Bloomfield Properties. If you're looking for a place to call home, let North Bloomfield Properties find the best place for you and your family. They also provide pre-screened quality tenants to their property owners. They love to match good people to good homes. Contact them today, northbloomfield.com.
Pleasant weather this afternoon, mix of clouds and sun, breezy, a little cooler, low 70s, low 50s tonight. Mix of clouds and sunshine tomorrow, high 77. Partly cloudy, warmer, cool to upper 80s this weekend. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ken Boone on News Talk 760 WJR.
Thanks for listening to 760 WJR, where Detroit comes to talk. Here's WJR's Kevin Dietz.
2-1. Believe it or not, and Ripley couldn't have made it any better than this. That's all there is. There isn't any more. And who could ask for anything more? In fact, Robert Frost Cooper sums it all up like this. 12 long years of waiting, 12 long years of pain. They came, they saw, they conquered. Bose won the year's last game. The Rose Bowl game of 81. And fans will long remember. This win will leave a taste so sweet right through till next September. Yes, sir, football fans. A great big knee-shaking victory in the fabulous granddaddy of all bowl games, the Pasadena Rose Bowl.
What an unbelievable call that was. Believe it or not, that was 40 years ago. That was Bo Schembechler's first Rose Bowl win. And this weekend, some of the players are getting together to celebrate and remember that win. Joining us now is John Wangler, the quarterback of that winning team. Good morning, John. How are you?
Good morning, Kevin. How you doing?
How do you like hearing that call? Do you ever get tired of that?
Well, I don't get to hear it that often, but I tell you, there's nothing better than hearing a Bob Ufer call. I mean, he was the best. His animation, and can you imagine the following that he would have today? You know, I mean, he was national back then, but with his shtick today, how great it would be with all the different media outlets. It was the best, man.
Yeah, I found that last night. I probably played it like 3 times. I just really enjoyed hearing it. It really brings you right back to that moment. And what an amazing year that was. I think, a lot of people probably don't remember, but Coach Schembechler was, he was getting some heat. Not really heat, but people were poking jabs at him for not being able to win the big one. And all of a sudden this year, everything just came together. What was so special about that year?
Well, it was really a unique year because if you go back to 1979, we lost our last 3 games. So we lost to Purdue in the last game, lost to Ohio State by 3 points, and we lost to Gator Bowl. So we had coming off a 3-game losing streak, which was unheard of in Michigan, and then we started the season. We barely beat Northwestern, and then we lost to Notre Dame on a last-second field goal, and we lost to South Carolina on a last-second play, 17-15. So we really had lost 5 out of 6 games, and everyone thought the Rome was crumbling, and we were all taking a lot of heat, and it was really kind of a watershed moment going into that next game against California, and then we kind of got the ship righted, and we reeled off 9 straight wins, and our defense didn't allow a touchdown for like the last 26 quarters, and our offense was really going very well, both running the ball and passing it. And we had a great offensive line, and we just came together as a team, and by the end of the year, we were really, really good.
Tell us about some of the players on that team and some of the big moments that allowed you guys to win 9 straight.
Well, I think it starts, obviously, with the offensive line. We had, Bubba Paris and Ed Moransky at tackle, with 2 300-pounders, which was unheard of back then. We had John Powers and Kurt Becker at guard, both of them tremendous players, all Big Ten, All-American. George Woodger was a captain, All-American center. We had a great backfield, Butch Wilfo, Stanley Edwards, and Larry Ricks. We had a 3-headed monster back there. We had Anthony at the receiver, which there was no one, in the country who could cover him, and Alan Mitchell was on the other side, and our tight ends were really vets, and Chuck Christian and Craig Dunaway did a great job. And then defensively, you had Andy Giambino, Mike Turner had with Brian Carpenter, Tony Jackson, Keith Bostic, American Body, and just tremendous. Jeff Shaw was middle guard, and Winston Caraway, and we had a real team. We had Ali Ajashik was our kicker. He did a great job, and our punter was great. And we just had a real team, and we really just gelled.
Yeah, everyone remembers Anthony Carter, of course, just some of the most memorable plays in U of M history. took place. As you guys were rolling into that Ohio State game, how important was that? How much were the coaches talking to you guys about becoming a team that everyone's going to remember for a long, long time?
Well, as we kept getting better each week, Evan, we kind of felt we were kind of like a team of destiny. It just was really like a snowball. We kept going down the hill. We just kept getting better and better. And, you know, we knew what was at stake going into Ohio State. We were ranked very high. It's not easy. We all can see now that it's a little more difficult than I guess. But we went down there and we were poised and came out with a 9-3 victory. And going to the we were so determined to go in there and not one. I and the 50 seniors, we were on 3 of those teams. So we had gone out there a lot. We had taken out dealing with it. So we really had a mission that we wanted to accomplish, and we were focused. We were able to practice in our indoor facility for the first time prior to that game, so we didn't have to go out for 2 weeks early. We only had to go out a week early, and I think that made a huge difference. And the fact that we were a better team, and that we were focused, and that we were not going to lose that game, and we were very, very confident.
And how great was that moment after it was over when you guys were Rose Bowl champs and Coach Schembechler got his big win?
It was really the culmination of 5 years or 4 years of hard work for a lot of guys, and for me personally, and to be able to be a part of that win for Bo, to get him his first victory in the Rose Bowl.
Come on.
He kind of rose from the ashes and came back, and a lot of people counted us out, and to go out there and finally get it done. There's nothing better in sports, right? We were really kind of an underdog for a lot of the year, and and we were able to turn it around. We battled through adversity and injuries and all that, and to be able to do that, I mean, that's why we played the game. Right in the Midwest, the Michigan, Ohio State, and the Rose Bowl, to be able to win those games, that's what you dream of as a little kid.
So who's going to get together this weekend? What's the plan?
Well, we have a dinner at the Chop House on Friday night at 8 o'clock in Ann Arbor, and then we'll have that. And then Saturday we're going to take a tailgate in the Victor's Lot for about 2 o'clock until game time. And we probably have almost 60-some people, 60-some guys coming back right now. And, we've got a really good turnout, especially with the COVID, coming off the COVID year. Everything is still, a little iffy and people are a little nervous, but we have a really good turnout, and everyone loves to come together. We had a great team that was very, very close, from the young freshmen, sophomores to the upperclassmen. So we always love getting together. And, whenever you accomplish something like that, that even makes the bond, stronger. So we're looking forward to a great day. Hopefully the weather's going to cooperate, and to be able to play and celebrate, while we're playing Washington again, and that was the team we beat in the Rose Bowl, is pretty special.
That's fantastic. Enjoy it. Enjoy every minute of it. John Wagner, quarterback from Michigan. Thanks for your time this morning. We appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Kevin. Appreciate it.
All right. Much more coming up after the break. You're listening to WPR, where Detroit.
Hey guys, we're up in the Off-Grid Tiny House. Got a couple packages here. Let's open them up. I'm guessing you guys know what these are, because I haven't been buying too much stuff whatsoever. Okay, so here's the company I bought it off of out of Mississauga, Canada. paperwork there, shredded now. Let's show you what we got here, guys. Okay. Lithium iron phosphate user manual. I'll check that in a minute. I don't think the last time I had one of those. Oh, the sizes, they dropped the size on these quite a bit. So I better make sure they sent me 100 amp hour, not 50. Yep, 100 amp hour. Sweet. Made in China, like everything. So these got the threaded nuts, and they have a compartment in the front here. I'll show you the. Whoa, Jesus! Almost lost the battery. This rope thing came off the hooks while I'm trying to show you the faceplate here. They dropped the size of these. So my measurements for my sand is going to be quite a bit different. But same manufacturer of the older ones. Interesting. So this one is fully charged. 13.3 volts, 89%, 20 degrees Celsius. I was gonna charge it up, but apparently that's a no-no right now. So we'll put these threaded knobbies in here. Threaded poles. I'll put the washers on for now. Not that I'll need them, I don't think. Actually, I won't put the washers on. Oops, wrong color. Okay, so we'll save these washers. Throw this in the washer drawer. And we'll pull the other one out. So the size of these have come down, guys, substantially. Let me tilt the camera a bit more. I'll do a comparison to the old one. So that means my measurements are totally off now on the battery box. I could have made the battery box a lot smaller. Oh my. Fully charged and discharged for 3 to 5 times the battery can reach its maximum capacity. Okay, more manual. Let's pull this pulling brother out of here. 13.2 charged at. Very cool. Looks like I got cardboard to burn. So yeah, they changed the size of these quite substantially, guys. So they must have gone from different cells or something, 18650s. I'm not entirely sure. I don't want to pop this top because I don't know if that'll void the warranty. Most times if you get in there funking, it will, but my old ones never had this compartment for service. So interesting. I'll have to read the manuals for sure. But now I will be up to 400 amp hours, and the batteries will have more room to roam in there. I think they're shorter as well. That's going to be weird when I do the sand setup. Not really. That's quite a big difference. Let me grab a tape measure if I can find one in here. in this mess and see what the hell we're looking at. Tape measure, where are you? I don't know. Okay, well, give me a second, I'll search around. Alright guys, so this is my original setup. So right now it's 200 amp hours. So let's check the size of this thing, comparison. Okay, about the same height, which is a blessing. The battery is only about 3/4 the size of 3/4 of the size here. So that's interesting. Same labels and everything like that. I'm just wondering, they must have found a way to make stuff smaller. I'm not entirely sure how they did that, but it should still work. These terminal heads are larger on my older one than these baby terminals here, which is kind of weird, but whatever. I think what I'll do is I think I'll be fine. It's just going to the distance between these two guys, I assume, will be similar when joining the batteries in parallel. It's just smaller connections. They have this new service hatch on the front, and these ones have more of like a round oval or oblong, and this is a giant square deal here. Interesting. So, surprise. I couldn't find my tape measure to change it, get the measurements for you guys, but they've gotten the size down yet again. Not sure how they did it, but they're good at that, finding out ways to make stuff a little shorter. So that's cool. Means more safety sand inside the battery box. I was just going off the measurements of my original batteries because I assumed they wouldn't change. My mistake. And then they changed these ropes. The rope handles, you got to be careful because they just sling out. They can fall out of the battery, so you got to be careful. I did that on camera almost, where I almost lost the battery. I was holding it by these and it unhooked, and I had only one end of the battery, so I quickly grabbed it. So be careful of that. But it's the same company, same manufacturer, still 100 amp hours, so I think we'll be fine. If Stu wants me to put it in a certain organize in parallel a certain way, like have the newer ones in the center and the older ones on the outsides, I could do something like that as well. We'll see. We'll see what he says. Hey guys, Rob from the Off-Grid Tiny House. So, I just got done voting. Hopefully everybody out there got their vote in. You guys know who I voted for if you watch this channel. So basically today, I'm staying over here, but we got some issues. So I'm going to be painting today. So that will be fun with all the fumes and such. So I tried rolling and brushing the ceiling. Now the plan wasn't to do the ceiling whatsoever, but my mom, who came over and helped, she painted all these walls. She picked the paint out. It's called Gray Glimpse. It looks pretty decent, but she is one of these people who gets paint everywhere and all over my floor. So that's just fun and dandy. Yeah, we're overvolting. So basically, I'm gonna try the spray bomb over top the spray foam. Also bonds to plastic for indoor and outdoor, wood, metal, plastic, and more. So I'm assuming this stuff will be good. We'll try it. We'll see. We shall see. Sorry about the crazy camera angles here, guys, but I have limited room to put a camera down. So I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna spray foam, and you guys will see that and see if this actually works and works out for us. Yeah. So once this is done, I'm gonna take my entertainment stand, move it back, wire everything up, clean the floors, vacuum, all that nonsense. And I pretty much got a pathway down here to the bathroom area for later when I stay over. I'm working tomorrow, so I gotta set my alarm and head back, shower, and do all that other nonsense. And should be good. So I'm gonna try this spray bomb out. If it works out, I'm gonna just buy a bunch of these and spray foam and seal, well, not spray foam, but paint the spray foam, and which will then seal it. And preserve it, and keep, and as a white color, it'll reflect more light down and around the tiny house, so that should work. Alrighty guys, so we'll see you when I'm painting. Hey guys, Rob from the Off-Grid Tiny House. So, yeah, that didn't turn out too well. Horrendous fumes with the spray paint, spray cans. I'm currently out of the tiny house. Windows are open. I have the Auric XL air filter on full tilt boogie to help remove that awful fumes. That was horrendous. So that can didn't do a whole lot of an area either. So I'm abandoning that idea. My mom said, well, just use a spray bomb can to do all that. Well, in a tight, closed condition, it's brutal. Do not recommend that whatsoever. The fumes were horrendous. I had to grab a little crappy mask because it's all I had. I don't have a respirator. So I'm gonna leave the tiny house wide open, leaving the fan running for a good couple hours. I think I'm gonna take off actually. I'm just gonna leave it wide open like this. Hopefully I don't get ripped off. Because I can't do anything. It's basically, it's not safe for me to be in there whatsoever. I don't think at all. So I'm gonna go in, quickly shut everything down. Grab my wallet and my keys and to get the hell out of here because that didn't turn out too well at all. The reason I wanted to paint right away is I'm gonna spend the night here. and the sooner you put the paint on, the sooner it'll cure. But my God, that was a mistake. Not fun. So the inverter's on. It's running the air filter, full tilt boogie, like I said. Not good. Not good. That was not good. So I'm gonna get my stuff and head back, and that'll be it for at least a couple hours to let that stuff settle down and get the hell out of there before I get to work. That really sucks. That puts me off. Well, it looks like I'm going for an early lunch. That's kind of weird. I don't get it. I don't know why. Oh well. I tried. So I think I'm gonna have to just do it manually with a brush. It's gonna take like 10 weeks to do it, but I'm not going to rush and worry about the ceiling. My mom just, it was not part of the plan whatsoever, guys, to paint the ceiling. She just went ahead. She's got real big on this painting kick, and she got paint everywhere. When I paint, I don't have these issues, put it this way, okay? Maybe I shouldn't have got her involved, but she wanted to help, whatever, but whatever. Paint everywhere, not good. And she painted the ceiling, which then turns into more work for me, because then I can't just not paint after that, just have one spot. Yeah. Oh well, more work for Rob. Is what it is, I guess. So I'm gonna leave the door open. I'm gonna leave everything to air out for a good couple hours, and then I will be back. I'll probably lock the ladder away so nobody can actually go inside very easily inside the tiny house. I think that'll be the game plan. But I gotta give it at least a couple hours, guys, because the fumes off that spray paint were horrendous. And it says it for indoor use as well on there, but fuck, not in a enclosed tiny house space. Not at all. But then again, maybe I should have let, you know, maybe when I originally did the spray foaming at the tiny house, I should have spray painted it then and just left it. But I don't know. Is what it is. Learning as we go. Hey guys, Rob from the Off-Grid Tiny House. I got the Auric XL air filter going. Got the ceiling fan back hooked up. All the wires are hidden except for the Starlink, which I can paint later on. I even ran a hole through for the cable connection for the TV. Entertainment's back hooked up. And it's nice and flush to the wall, as tight as I can get. All the wires are inside the cabinet. These two I will sort out later. Decide what I want to use them for, ceiling lights or fans and such. But everything's back in and working. I have the fridge back hooked up, and it's doing its thing. We're charging the Dyson, been using that heavy. And there's the new batteries. It's Friday, and I'm not sure what time it is. Let me look at the clock here. 2:30. I'm staying over tonight, and I have the fan. I've left the fan open, and well, the fan open. Left all the doors, the door open, all the windows open, and the fan has been running like crazy. I just recently hooked up the ceiling fan to get that going. Trying to get rid of the paint odor for my stay over tonight. I'm all plugged up because of allergies, I'm assuming. I didn't spend a whole lot of time in here after spraying, so I think I'll be okay. The Hornets, or actually the Yellow Jackets, are gone stupid this year. They're just walking around all drunk, getting ready for winter. There's one there. I've been killing a whack ton of them, so just use a fly swatter. They get lost, and you know, they don't know what to do, so they end up in your place, and I just smoke them with the fly swatter. I'll find them later and kill them, or pick them up. Sure, he's dead, but so the battery box is here. I was using as basically a tabletop. I put a piece of plywood down on top of it, and basically was using it to paint. So the paint turned out really well on the walls. Only needed one coat because I had that existing coat on there. Some of these may need another screw though, but we're gonna worry about that. So I got from here to basically the doorway done, and I added this piece of trim, and that was painted. And then I got I'm doing black from here over. What the heck was that? That does not look like a Yellow Jacket. Wow, that was just I think a bumblebee just... Yeah, why are the bumblebees coming in here? They attracted to that paint or something? That's a big old beast. Might be a queen. I don't know why they're in here, but it's crazy. That is a monster. Let's see if I can zoom in. Focus, camera, focus. Very difficult to do when your viewfinder is upside down. Okay, that's the Yellow Jacket. So I'm gonna kill it. Looks like a monster too. Yeah, so craziness. Being invaded by that nonsense. I don't know why they're coming in here. I kind of took their nest out underneath. They were trying to make a nest under the trailer, and I gave them a nice whack. So whatever. Oh yeah, so I'm gonna head out and let this place continue to air dry out, or cure that paint smell out of here. I really don't want to do too much today because I'm staying over today, and I've already done way too much because of the stink in here. The smelly, nasty stink. Looks like the foam hasn't melted in any spots, so seems to be okay. But yeah, that paint smell is something else, I'll tell you what. I can still smell it lingering, and I'm gonna be sleeping with probably those fans running 24/7 tonight, if at all possible, because that's gross. That is really bad. So I'm just gonna let this thing go to town. That fan's on full max. It's blowing straight up on the ceiling where it was painted. And I'm just trying to get rid of that stink out of here. Probably not the best idea to stay over, but what are my options, right? I gotta work tomorrow too, so if I don't get a good sleep, it's gonna suck at work. Yeah, we're getting super busy at work, guys, so at least I'll be able to pay off the batteries pretty damn shortly here once I finish these 3 jobs. And that, at least that'll be done. It looks fairly decent, the white ceiling, once it's going to be done. But it's gonna take forever for me to finish it because I gotta do it by hand, by a brush. I'm never spraying that again because of the fumes. No way. No way, Jose. And I've been helping my dad next door at his trailer. And he's actually going to go up on my roof as well as his. And I gave him the rest of my rocker guard. And he's going to just drench my skylights on the roof just to make sure that I'm not getting any water infiltration leaks through there. We're not quite sure where the water's getting in, but I'm gonna have to do something about it. And then once the rocker guard dries up there over the skylights, we got this reflective coating that we've been putting on our trailers, and it seems to work fairly well. So yeah, see you again.